Articles of Confederation by Diana Alemán, Valerian Duco, Jania González, Sofía Hernández, Paulina Mandujano, Alejandro Castro, Carlos Guerrero, and Octavio Hernández. Hope you enjoyed.
The Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union was the first written constitution of the United States. Written in 1777 and stemming from wartime urgency, its progress was slowed by fears of central authority and extensive land claims by states. It was not ratified until March 1, 1781. Under these articles, the states remained sovereign and independent, with Congress serving as the last resource on appeal of disputes. Significantly, the Articles of Confederation named the new nation, the United States of America. Congress was given the authority to make treaties and alliances, maintain armed forces, and coin money. However, the central government lacked the ability to levy taxes and regulate commerce, issues that led to the Constitutional Convention in 1787 for the creation of new federal laws under the United States Constitution.
From the beginning of the American Revolution, Congress felt the need for a stronger union and a government powerful enough to defeat the Great Britain. During the early years of the war, this desire became a belief that the new nation must have a constitutional order appropriate to its republican character. A fear of central authority inhibited the creation of such a government, and widely shared political theory held that a republic could not adequately serve a large nation such as the United States. The legislators of a large republic would be unable to remain in touch with the people they represented, and the republic would inevitably degenerate into a tyranny. To many Americans, their union seemed to be simply a league of confederated states, and their Congress a diplomatic assemblage representing certain independent polities. The impetus for an effective central government lay in wartime urgency, the need for foreign recognition, and aiding the growth of national feeling.
Altogether, 6 drafts of the articles were prepared before Congress settled on a final version in 1777. Benjamin Franklin wrote the first and presented it to the Congress in July 1775. It was never formally considered. Later in the year, Silas Deane, a delegate from Connecticut, offered one of his own, which was followed still later by a draft from the Connecticut delegation, probably a revision of Deane's. None of these drafts contributed significantly to the fourth version written by John Dickinson of Pennsylvania, the text that, after much revision, provided the basis for the articles approved by Congress. Dickinson prepared his draft in June 1776. It was revised by a committee of Congress and discussed in late July and August. The result, the third version of Dickinson's original, was printed to enable Congress to consider it further. In November 1777, the final articles, much altered by this long deliberate process, were approved for submission to the states.
Ratification. By 1779, all the states had approved the Articles of Confederation except for Maryland, but the prospects for acceptance looked bleak because claims to western lands by other states set Maryland in inflexible opposition. Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, Connecticut, and Massachusetts claimed by their charters to extend the South Sea or the Mississippi River. The charters of Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and Rhode Island confined those states to a few hundred miles of the Atlantic. Land speculators in Maryland and these other landless states insisted that the West belonged to the United States, and they urged Congress to honor their claims to Western lands. Maryland also supported the demands because nearby Virginia would clearly dominate its neighbor should its claim be accepted. Eventually, Thomas Jefferson persuaded his state to yield its claims to the West, provided that the speculators' demands were rejected and the West was divided into new states, which would be admitted into the Union on the basis of equality with the old. Virginia's actions persuaded Maryland to ratify the Articles, which went into effect on March 1, 1781.
Weakness of the Articles of Confederation. The weakness of the Articles of Confederation was that Congress was not strong enough to enforce law or raise taxes, making it difficult for the new nation to repay their debts from the Revolutionary War. There was no executive and no judiciary, two of the three branches of government we have today, to act as a system of check and balance. Additionally, there were several issues between states that were not settled with ratification. A disagreement over the appointment of taxes forecast the division over slavery and the Constitutional Convention. Dickinson's draft required the states to provide money to Congress in proportion to the number of their inhabitants, black and white, except India.
Article 3 described the Confederation as a firm league of friendship of states, for their common defense, the security of their liberties, and their mutual and general welfare. This league would have a unicameral Congress as a central institution of government. As in the past, each state had one vote, and delegates were elected by state legislatures. Under the Articles, each state retained its sovereignty, freedom, and independence. The old weakness of the First and Second Continental Congresses remained. The new Congress could not levy taxes, nor could it regulate commerce. Its revenue would come from the states, each contributing according to the value of privately owned land within its borders. But Congress would exercise considerable powers. It was given jurisdiction over foreign relations, with the authority to make treaties and alliances. It could make war and peace, maintain any army and navy, coin money, establish a postal service, and manage Indian affairs. It could establish admiralty courts, and it would serve as the last resort on appeal of disputes between the states. Decision on certain specified matters, making war, entering treaties, regulating coinage, for example, required the assent of 9 states in Congress, and all others required a majority.
Although the states remained sovereign and independent, no state was to impose restrictions on the trade or the movement of citizens of another state, not imposed on its own. The Articles also required each state to extend full faith and credit to the judicial proceedings of the others, and the free inhabitants of each state were to enjoy the privileges and immunities of free citizens of the others. Movement across states' lines was not to be restricted. To amend the Articles, the legislature of all 13 states will have to agree. This provision, like many in the Articles, indicated the powerful provincial loyalties, and suspicious of central authority persisted. In the 1780s, the so-called critical period, state actions powerfully affected politics and economic life. For the most part, business prospered and the economy grew. Expansion into the West proceeded and population increased. National problems persisted, however, as Americans' merchants were barred for the British West Indies, and the British Army continued to hold posts in the Old Northwest, which was named American territory under the Treaty of Paris. These circumstances contributed to a sense that constitutional revision was imperative. Still, national feeling grew slowly in the 1780s. Although major efforts to amend the Articles in order to give Congress the power to tax failed in the 1781 and the 1786. The year after the failure of 1786, the Constitution
The Articles of Confederation 1781. Preamble. To all to whom this present shall come, we the undersigned delegates of the states, affixed to our names and send greeting Whereas the delegates of the United States of America in Congress assembled there on the 15th day of November in the year of our Lord 1777, and in the second year of the independence of America, agreed certain articles of Confederation and perpetual union between the states of New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, Providence Plantations, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, in the words following. Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union between the states of New Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island, and Providence Plantations, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia.